In the quiet corners of history, some stories remain hidden, only to surface as chilling reminders of the past. Today, we delve into the life of Peter Manuel, a man whose name would become synonymous with terror and tragedy. This is a tale of crime, deception, and the unraveling of a serial killer. Early life and family background. Peter Manuel's story begins in the early 20th century. Born to Samuel and Bridget Manuel, Peter's early years were marked by upheaval. His parents, seeking a better life, moved from Scotland to New York, leaving their first son, James, behind. In 1927, Peter was born, the couple's second son. But the Great Depression soon forced the family to return to Scotland, where Peter's life took a turbulent turn. Troubled childhood and early crimes. Peter's childhood was far from ordinary. By the age of 11, he was already stealing from a church collection box. At 12, he was charged with breaking into a shop. His behavior grew increasingly problematic, and by his early teens, Peter was sent to an approved school for troubled children. Despite his intelligence and a scholarship to a respected grammar school, Peter's life of crime continued to escalate. Escalating violence. By the age of 15, Peter had been charged with multiple counts of breaking and entering, malicious bodily harm, and even indecent assault. His crimes grew more violent, and by 16 he was sentenced to a young offenders institution. But even there, Peter's troubles didn't end. He suffered injuries from an air raid and an electric shock accident, yet his criminal behavior persisted. Returned to society and further crimes. After his release, Peter attempted to lead a normal life. He worked at a fairground and later at British Railways. But his past caught up with him, and he was fired once his criminal record came to light. Peter's life took a darker turn when his engagement to Anna O'Hara ended abruptly. Heartbroken and enraged, Peter abducted and assaulted a young woman named Mary McClendon. Shockingly, he managed to evade conviction by painting himself as the victim in court. The murders begin. Peter's crimes escalated to murder. In 1956, 17-year-old Anne Connylans was found brutally beaten and sexually assaulted on a golf course. Peter was a suspect, but his father provided an alibi. Months later, the Watts family was murdered in their home. Peter, now a free man, began writing letters to a lawyer, claiming to know the real killer. His manipulative nature was on full display. The Smart family murders and capture. In December 1957, Peter struck again. He broke into the home of the Smart family, shooting Peter, Doris, and their 10-year-old son Michael in their beds. He calmly ate biscuits and fed their cats before leaving with stolen valuables. Peter's carelessness eventually led to his capture. Police connected him to the murders through stolen banknotes and his own letters from prison. Trial and conviction. Peter's trial began in May 1958. Representing himself, he accused the police of coercion and claimed innocence. Despite his remarkable courtroom skills, the jury convicted him of 7 counts of murder. Peter Manuel became Scotland's first convicted serial killer. On July 11, 1958, at the age of 31, Peter was hanged. His last words were, "Turn up the radio and I'll go quietly." Peter Manuel's crimes left a lasting impact on the communities he terrorized. While he was convicted of 7 murders, some believe the true number of his victims could be much higher. Investigations into other unsolved crimes, such as the 1957 shooting of taxi driver Sidney Dunn in Sheffield, have raised questions about Peter's potential involvement. However, inconsistencies in witness statements have left these cases unresolved. The psychological profile. Peter Manuel's behavior has been the subject of much analysis. Described as a constant liar, deceitful, and a ringleader who led others into trouble, Peter displayed traits consistent with psychopathy. His ability to manipulate those around him, including his own family and the legal system, showcased a chilling level of cunning. Despite his intelligence, his inability to control his violent impulses ultimately led to his downfall. The role of his family. Peter's family played a complex role in his life. His father, Samuel, provided alibis that initially shielded Peter from suspicion. However, as the evidence mounted, even his family could no longer protect him. Peter's mother, Bridget, testified during his trial, recounting details of police searches and interviews. The Manuel family's story is a tragic one, marked by loyalty, denial, and ultimately, heartbreak. The cultural impact. Peter Manuel's crimes have left a lasting mark on Scottish history. His case has been the subject of books, documentaries, and even stage plays. Lawrence Dowell, the lawyer who represented William Watts, wrote about Peter in his book Get Me Dowell, detailing his memorable criminal cases. Peter's story continues to fascinate and horrify, serving as a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked violence and manipulation. Reflections on Justice Peter Manuel's trial and conviction were landmark moments in Scottish legal history. His ability to represent himself in court, though ultimately unsuccessful, highlighted the complexities of the justice system. The case also underscored the importance of thorough investigations and the need to protect communities from individuals capable of such heinous acts. Peter's execution marked the end of a dark chapter, but the scars he left behind remain. Final thoughts. Peter Manuel's life was a tragic blend of potential and destruction. From a troubled childhood to a life of crime, his story is a stark reminder of how easily darkness can take hold. As we reflect on his crimes, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance, compassion, and the pursuit of justice. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of Scotland's most chilling criminal cases. Before we go, let's take a moment to lighten the mood with our petty crime segment. Today, we're featuring Liz from Texas, near Houston. Liz has shared photos of her mischievous kitty, Soup. Soup has a knack for stealing food off plates, especially chicken noodle soup. But that's not all. Soup also rules the house, slapping Daisy the basset hound and pestering Ribbon the tabby cat. Thanks for sharing your furry troublemaker with us, Liz. Thank you for tuning in to Crime Chronicles. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales from the past. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.